Welcome back to City Insider. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Manchester City Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Erling Haaland's agent breaks silence amid Real Madrid links. Real Madrid are still in need of a striker to replace Karim Benzema up front. The number 9 shirt remains unclaimed at Santiago Bernabeu, as the club did not sign a world-class centre-forward this summer to the surprise of many. And as the Kylian Mbappé saga continues to drag on, there has been renewed speculation about a move for Erling Haaland. The 23-year-old superstar was in contention to sign for Real Madrid last year, before joining Manchester City. In England, he has been at his usual best since then, even breaking all-time records in the Premier League. It is believed that Haaland's contract at Manchester City has a release clause which will come into effect next summer. That has led to speculation about Real Madrid potentially looking to activate it if Mbappé does not arrive at Santiago Bernabeu next year, as reported by Goal, when quizzed by El Chiringuito on whether Real Madrid will look to sign Haaland in 2024. His agent Rafaela Pimenta said, "The open door can mean a lot of things. Our players can have the feeling that they have their destiny in their hands. Of course, this is the type of response you would expect from the Haaland camp, but one cannot rule out a rumor related to Real Madrid simply because of the aura of the club, which remains a dream destination for most footballers." The Norwegian forward has already made his mark on the big stage after helping Manchester City win the treble last season, where he scored 52 goals across all competitions and won the Golden Boot in the Premier League. He was also the top scorer in the UEFA Champions League. He is a serious contender for the Ballon d'Or alongside Lionel Messi. Thus, despite being at Manchester City for just a year, Haaland has already achieved pretty much everything that he can at the club. And it would not be a surprise if he looks for a new challenge in the not-too-distant future. Official website, Manchester City star João Cancelo has joined Spanish champions Barcelona on a season-long loan. The Portuguese international was a key part of Pep Guardiola's squad, impressing one and all with his performances out on the flank. However, he has fallen down the pecking order in recent seasons and is surplus to requirements at Manchester City. The 29-year-old is in need of a new challenge, and the move to the Nou Camp will help him do just that. A right-back, Cancelo is also capable of playing on the other flank when needed. It was imperative for Barcelona to bring in another right-back given that Sergi Roberto is the only player they have in that position. Cancelo is far more experienced than the La Masia graduate and will also be keen to prove a point. Cancelo has not just played for Manchester City but also other big clubs such as Benfica, Juventus, and Bayern Munich, all of which will have helped him build up a winning mentality. Barcelona are far from the force they once were and could do with winners in their squad. There is much Cancelo can offer. It can be argued that the Portuguese international star's reputation took a beating during his fall from grace at the Etihad. The player has arguably played his last game for the Sky Blues, and it remains to be seen if Barcelona will make the move permanent next summer. For now, the ball is in Cancelo's court and the onus is on him to perform and rebuild what is a flagging career at the top level. Juanma Lillo gives verdict on Man City squad depth after transfer window. Juanma Lillo said that Manchester City will look to the club's academy if they need to as they enter the season with another small squad. Pep Guardiola does not like to work with big groups, but the club's arm has also been twisted in the transfer market. While 4 players have come in, 4 first-teamers have left, while James McAtee, Cole Palmer, and João Cancelo have also been allowed to go either on loan or on permanent deals. That has left the Blues with a squad of 23, including 3 goalkeepers and rookie Oscar Bob. The serious injury to Kevin De Bruyne has exposed how vulnerable the squad could be, while more minor issues with Ruben Dias, John Stones, and Manu Akanji have also left the bench light. Juanma Lillo, himself speaking for the injured Pep Guardiola, admitted that they may need luck on their side if they are to get through the campaign without experiencing major problems. "If you know that nobody is going to get injured, we have more than enough," he said. "We don't know how things will happen, so we don't know. Initially, we're looking good." Back to what we've talked about, we have the EDS. We always look at the EDS. It helps us to bring others into the side. This is removing and completely regenerating the team. The departures of Palmer and McAtee leave Oscar Bob as the only young player at the club between the first team and the academy. The young Norwegian has been part of Guardiola's group since they returned for pre-season training after starring for the EDS, but has yet to make his debut. That should change in the very near future given he is almost certain to make the matchday squad for every game. Lillo pointed out that Bob is better off now than he was even a week ago and is waiting for other youngsters to show that they too can make the step up. Numerically it does change things for Oscar, of course, he said. Oscar, I've known him from my previous period here. A player that really stood out. It happens with other players, Cole, McCarthy, many players. He has some very particular conditions that are valued by Pep and the club. If not, he wouldn't be here. We value it a lot. We have to let him go through the process. He has great conditions. How Matheus Nunes shocked Man City coaches in a 5-0 defeat. Manchester City began scouting Matheus Nunes after his performance against them for Sporting in a 5-0 Champions League win for the Blues in 2022. City eased a victory in Lisbon in the Champions League, but Pep Guardiola made headlines by declaring Nunes as one of the best midfielders in the world following the game. Having been so impressed with his performance for Sporting, Nunes joined Wolves that summer and played 12 months at Molino before he became City's fourth major transfer arrival of the summer on deadline day, 18 months on from impressing Guardiola in that game in Lisbon. Juanma Lillo was on the coaching staff during that campaign and has returned to City after leaving during the 2022-23 season. Standing in for Guardiola at his weekly press conference, Lillo explained just how much of an impact Nunes had on City back in 2022. Pep has already made reference to Matheus a while back, Lillo explained. It surprised us when we played Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League. He surprised us. In that game it was 5-0, but everything happened quick in that game. It wasn't a real scoreline. He carried on playing throughout that game, showing a personality and will to play. He did things very well and also the hard work he put in. He has the understanding of a collective team. That put us on guard. We thought of this player. We started looking at him with an objective to following him. It's not a surprise he will offer many things in the future. Explaining how Nunes would fit in, along with fellow new signing Mateo Kovacic, Lillo praised the pair for their abilities driving forward with the ball. He said, each person has his own individual qualities and one of those of both those players is that. After that, in this context, the development that they have in terms of developing play, they also add other types of qualities. Both, one is already playing for us, the other one will come, they will represent a great deal for the team. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.